yards. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. The give is to Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Second down, Prescott. And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Aaron Donald in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Prescott. And that is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Dak and the offense still out there. They are going to go for it. Now Prescott on 4th down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dub for that.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Give them 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. On 1st and 10, Goff. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. The 1st down screen pass, good for 5.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Flushed out right. And his throw here's incomplete. Jordan Lewis right there on the coverage.
That's a really fine play there because anytime you see a comeback route, that means you cannot just stay in one spot and make a play on the ball. You've got to move your feet and move with the receiver, and that's exactly what he did.
Now Goff. Screen play, Anderson. And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. On 1st down, Goff. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. If you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Back now in Arlington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now Goff. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Randy Gregory in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays. Third and long. It's gone. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And Zuerlein's kick is good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down and keep the sticks moving.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Michael Brocker's in on the stop. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Samson Ebukam able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14.
We're going to 54. Why?
Third and long for Prescott. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Aqib Talib. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the fourth quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. Goff now to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Clock continuing to roll as the Rams try to get going again.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
His throw caught right around the 6. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Really nice gain on the completion. However, still 3rd and goal that they face now. They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And no movement for the field goal unit to break this tie. They're going to go for this thing. 4th and goal. Here we go. Look at this, a tight end carry. And he didn't get there. Knocked backwards to the 2-yard line. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And this Cowboy defense comes up with a goal line stand. Prescott. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by John Johnson. And he will bring it back to the 4-yard line. From their own 2, Charles, they opted to throw it instead of run it. We saw the outcome.
I think what a lot of teams count on is defenses to stack the line of scrimmage, trying to force a safety or force a turnover there. But he got a good defensive front. He just allowed them to play the run.
And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Brandon Cooks. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Rams use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Zerline out now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Back to throw. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He got 29 yards that time. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
He did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Wide open, Amari Cooper. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time. He'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. Cooper was the intended target.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Goff gonna throw it. Flush to his right. Finding room at the 30. And he'll be out right at the 35. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now it's gone. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Chidobe Awuzie there to make the play in coverage.
It's always